On April 25, 2015, at exactly 11:56 a.m., the earth beneath Nepal violently gave way. In a matter of seconds, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake claimed nearly 9,000 lives and reduced centuries of Kathmandu's architectural history to rubble. The tremor carried enough kinetic energy to level ancient palaces. More than 80 UNESCO heritage sites and historic monuments were wiped from the map. Yet, amidst the ruins of the Bagmati riverbank, the Pashupatinath Temple emerged from the dust clouds completely untouched. Its golden roof remained pristine, showing no signs of the collapse that had claimed the rest of the valley. Architects credit the survival to the flexible brilliance of Malla-era pagoda construction, a stone base paired with a pliable wooden upper structure designed to sway rather than snap. For the devotees, however, this was the direct divine protection of Lord Shiva. This endurance creates a sharp irony. Nepal's most physically resilient landmark is a space entirely centered on the end of human life. Kathmandu's most resilient structure remains a permanent, open-air theater for the very mortality it seems to defy. Myths of the temple's origin trace back to Lord Shiva seeking reprieve from his celestial duties. He traveled to Kathmandu's dense forests, transformed into a divine golden deer, and hid among the trees on the Bagmati's banks. When the other deities tracked him down, a struggle broke out. The deer's horn snapped off and buried itself in the earth, eventually being unearthed by a local cowherd who noticed his cattle were drawn to a specific patch of soil. The relic he found was the Moksha, a self-manifested stone idol featuring 4 faces of Shiva looking in the cardinal directions. Each face represents a core pillar of existence: dharma, or duty; artha, prosperity; kama, desire; and moksha, the final liberation. A 5th face, Kaligni Rudra, is said to point directly upward into the cosmos. It remains invisible to the naked eye, allegedly revealing its form only to the most advanced tantric practitioners. Access to this idol is restricted by ancient protocols. Only 4 specific priests, known as Bhatts, selected from the Indian state of Karnataka, are permitted to enter the inner sanctum and physically touch the lingam. These protocols isolate a power that devotees describe as a spiritual frequency so concentrated that an ordinary human mind cannot withstand direct exposure to it. While the temple survived the 2015 quake, history records periods where its physical form was lost. In the 14th century, Sultan Shamsuddin of Bengal launched a brutal invasion of the valley. His forces looted the temple's gold, set the complex on fire, and shattered the stone lingam into 3 separate pieces. Successive kings rebuilt the site from the ruins, eventually capping it with a towering golden pinnacle. This history of reconstruction suggests that the temple's endurance is a matter of constant resurrection rather than static invulnerability. This continuity is supported by a city-wide tantric web. The same traditions that govern Pashupatinath also sustain the Kumari Devi, a child worshipped as a living goddess whose palace also survived the 2015 earthquake entirely unharmed. This network is maintained through secretive practices. At nearby sites like the Nara Devi and Kirtimukh temples, midnight rituals and animal sacrifices are still performed to regulate the cycles of life and death across the valley. Pashupatinath acts as the central node in this living network, drawing its resilience from a city-wide grid of tantric tradition and unbreakable human faith. Outside the temple's boundaries, the Bagmati River flows through a place of uncompromising reality, the Arya Ghat. On these steps, the sounds of joyful arti rituals, drums, bells, and chanting, mingle with the silence of families tending to funeral pyres just meters away. There are no hospital walls or filters at Arya Ghat. The final act of human life takes place under the open sky, as bodies are laid on stone platforms and returned to ash. The resident sadhus meditate in the middle of this transition. They coat their skin in the ash from these very pyres, wearing the reality of death as a physical reminder that the physical world is temporary. While the modern world often seeks to hide or sanitize the end of life, Pashupatinath forces it into the light. It demands a direct confrontation with the one certainty we all share. Pashupatinath remains. Even as the fires on the Ghats consume every identity that passes through them, the temple continues to look on, a silent witness to the truth that acceptance of the end is the only thing that never actually dies.